Okay, you'll see here I've taken the liberty of removing the screws that hold this lower bearing block in place. Okay, it's down in here on the bottom. Okay, and I've pretty much started taking it apart to assemble. I've loosened up the back to loosen the belt, and what we want to do is we want to pull this bearing block off. Okay, we want to make sure that it goes in up, right side up like this, so it goes in up like that. You don't want to get it turned over and have this recess there. You don't want to have that up. Okay, you want to make sure you're on the side that the bearing actually goes in. Okay, so now that we've got that established, there's also of course I think it fell out here. There's a shim that goes on top of the bearing block when you go to install it. I just put it up on the shaft in there. You can see the shaft there, and you can just slide that up there and then just push the bearing block up in and put the screws in. And the next step here, I will show you, I've got to loosen this collar here on the top so that I can push down on the main shaft. So that will be covered momentarily. I will be back. Alright, here we go. So what we do is we lift up on this here, right? Now here it works pretty easy. Sometimes you actually have to force it down by pushing down on the main shaft while pulling up on this, but you can see the pin in there. There's the pin right there, right? So, all right, we got said pin out. So now, you just lift the main shaft out. All right, there you go. It's all out. You got to get this gear separated. All right, so in there is this inner sleeve. You have to drive that out to separate these two gears. All right, so let me do that, and I will show you how this works. Push it out. There's the sleeve. Okay, now you can take these two gears apart. Okay. You have to loosen up on the boom and slide it forward to get enough slack in order to pull it to the side and push that sleeve out. There's apparently supposed to be a shim that goes in here, but I've never been able to really get it to work that well. I mean, it does want one in between here, but I don't think it's really necessary. And to reassemble it, it's really just exactly the opposite. I mean, you have to, the hard part is actually getting this, you got to get this in here, right? You get that gear in there, and then you get this one under it, right? And then you got to push this up into it, and you have to make sure that this is the hole is on the top, because that's what's going to interface. So basically, what I do is I get the gear, I get it mostly. It's got to be done inside of the frame, okay? Because you can't do it outside the frame, which makes it just a little bit more fun, right? So you got to get it in here, and then you can push this up in here, right? And then get them lined up together. But that's the only way that I have found to make this work efficiently, is to do it this way. Now it's up in there, right? And you can put this in here and put the main shaft down in, and separate this, pull this apart so that you can see the pinhole, right? That's what you need to put the pin in after you get the main gear, or the head in. So once you drop this down in here like this, right, get it lined up, like so. You don't want it too far. Then you just separate it here and find the hole and get that all lined up. I mean, that's the big pain in the butt here is finding the hole, and because sometimes you have to push this up a little bit more so you can see it. It can get a little difficult, but you have to. That's the only way to do it. That is the only way to do it. But, you know, like I said, once you get that out and you drive that sleeve out, you get the sleeve out, right? And this comes out. That comes out, right? And you can, you know, do what you need to do.